It's going to come down to, who's playing the best and who can give us the best chance at winning. There's no time for, ego and feelings and things like that. We have to win. And those guys understand that more than anybody, and they want that more than anybody.
Okay, well, let's talk about the game. Let's just get right to it. Let's get to that game against Canada, Billy, because I don't even know if I sent you a message that night or the next day or something like that. But were you just sitting up there when that first 30 seconds of the game is going on, like, that's my team down there? I did that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, USA Hockey has been going in the right direction, I believe, for a long time, quite a while. But what did that do for the U.S. and U.S. Hockey, do you believe?
I think it did a great deal for the game in general. But, mostly in the U.S. It was just such a great event. It was such a, that was no exhibition. I can tell you that right now. I mean, you guys watched it.
Oh yeah,
those guys were playing. They were playing for keeps. That was real, and I was just really proud of the guys. I was proud of the job that we did as a hockey ops group, coaching group, and mostly the players, because I guess as a whole, all four teams involved, they could have kind of coasted through, made it a no-hitter. That's completely opposite. They were all playing for their country, and they just laid it out on the line. I was really proud of the U.S. team, how quickly the guys all came together and just bought in. And that's what we asked of them. They were phenomenal. I was really proud of it.
Did you know anything like that may happen in the start of that game? Was there any talk about anything like that going into it?
No. I found out after that.
Somehow I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah. I knew. I found out after that Matthew, he wanted to kind of set the stage, and then Brady was going to follow up. I didn't know JT Miller was going to do that, but we didn't know any of it. But we were sitting up there in Montreal, we're like, oh my God, this is this is crazy. And then you move to the fight. The hockey was crazy. It was so fast. It was so tight. Billy Zito, we were sitting in the suite watching the final game in Boston. Halfway through the first period, Billy Zito looks at me. He goes, "I think I'm getting car sick just watching this game. It's so fast." It was incredible. And it's all because the players put in what they put in. It was awesome.
I know both teams, all four teams had issues with injuries during the tournament. Obviously, Matthew Tkachuk was going through what he was going through. You lose McAvoy, who I thought was brilliant in that first USA-Canada game. It was amazing to me watching that. Some guys really rose to that challenge and others were a little quiet, and not just on USA, on all four teams. There were guys, we didn't think that Roope Hintz had a great tournament for Finland compared to what we see in Dallas all the time. I thought, and I think we kind of know that he was going through a lot, that Mikko Rantanen didn't have his best game during that tournament. But then a guy like Mikael Granlund said, I thought as the tournament went on that a guy like Matt Boldy really came to the forefront. Your guy, I thought we got people that don't know Jacob Slavin as well got to see what he's all about in Carolina. He may be the second best defensive defenseman beside our Esa Lindell. I mean,
Thomas Harley, too.
Thomas Harley with Canada,
big time.
And there were some guys that I was genuinely disappointed with on the big stage. That then you see them play for their NHL teams when the intensity drops a little bit and they really stand out. How we had Doug Armstrong on last Friday, and he was talking about the same thing with getting Hockey Canada ready after a 10-year drought of NHL best on best. How great was it for you as a manager of Team USA to have that to then prepare for the Olympics coming in February?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. There were guys who had good tournaments. There were guys that didn't. It's the middle of the season, so you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. When we played Finland or Sweden or Canada, if somebody has an off tournament, we don't know what's bothering them. We don't know if someone's got a bad back or banged up or just contract thing or whatever it is. But for me personally to deal with Team USA, it was more along the lines of buy-in, personality, chemistry, a lot of the intangible stuff. Who's part of the team? Who's really sinking their teeth into this thing and being a part? And it was nice to get a look under the hood before going to the Olympics.
The other part of that, Luds, real quick, is they said the same thing about the Canadian players was these guys didn't know the terminology of the coaches that they were playing for. They didn't know the support staff for Hockey Canada, just like with USA Hockey. Did this orientation camp feel more comfortable for everybody because a lot of them now had the experience of playing internationally together with this group? Yeah,
I think so. We had a really good orientation camp. I mean, there was no real heavy lifting. I mean, but just to see the guys interact with each other, as a whole, they're closer now. You know what? You have the guys who played in the Four Nations that created a bond. You have the guys that won the World Championships this year that created a bond, and kind of all of them together. They're in it and they're excited about it, and they feel they can do something special. And it was nice to see them all kind of under one roof. It was nice for me being the GM to see all those faces. I mean, the player pool is ridiculous. It's nice problem to have.
Well, you were talking about that, Luds, about the direction that USA Hockey's been going for a long time now.
Yeah, I mean it's been going straight north. I mean, and again, it's credit to everybody that and all the rinks and the coaches and all that kind of stuff. USA Hockey, like Billy said, they've done an unbelievable job. Billy, we also asked Army, and I asked him. I said, do you put your team together, Army, like looking to have a team that's going to beat US? Because typically you guys are the two powerhouses. And he said, no, we just look to put our best team together. Well, then we come to find out that apparently the rink in Italy is going to be, I thought it was just an Olympic size sheet. It's 5 feet smaller than a regular NHL rink. So with the way that you were talking right now, do you just you putting together in the way that you played the game, do you have an idea what kind of game you want your team to play? Or are you just kind of taking the same philosophy as Army is like, we're just taking the best players? Or do you have more? And I don't want you to give anything away. You guys know each other so well anyways. But I mean, are you looking, again, for an old school term, are you looking to push people out of the fight?
There's so many things that come into play. Like, I mean, Luds, you played internationally. Like, we're going to have half NHL refs, half European refs. Some call the game differently. Listen, if we were playing Canada every single game, we would build our team a certain way, but we're not. We have to get, in order to face them or play a gold medal game or whatever, we have to get through a bunch of other teams first. So we have to have a team that's got the ability to really play it any way you want to. And, we need speed, we need skill, and we need will. Those are the three things. And we need to be able to play any type of game and beat anybody. So we can't build a team to play against one team.
Obviously, Jake Oettinger was part of the Four Nations roster. I think we all expect that he's going to be a big contributor to Team USA at the Olympics. And of course, Jason Robertson is a big name. He didn't make the team. He was hurt coming into the start of the year because of offseason surgery. I don't think his first half was indicative of how he is as a player because of that. He'd never really gone through that, and when talking to him, he really had a great second half. I'll ask you about Robo in a second, but let's talk about Otter for a minute, because he went head-to-head with Connor Hellebuyck in the second round of the playoffs. It was fun to watch. They're both incredible goalies. How do you guys figure that out? Because that's to me, a really difficult decision. Who's going to be my starter in Italy when the Olympics get going?
Again, that's another luxury we have is goaltending depth. Otter's a great kid, a great goalie, unbelievable competitor. He's big. Same with Hellebuyck. They're, same with Swayman. These guys are elite. They've all played in big games. That's what you need. They've all played in big games. They're battle tested. And hey, look, it's going to come down to, who's playing the best and who can give us the best chance at winning. There's no time for, ego and feelings and things like that. We have to win. And those guys understand that more than anybody, and they want that more than anybody. But we love the competitiveness, and we'll see where we'll see where it ends up.
So, Bill, do you look at that as who's the hottest goalie coming out of the regular season here, or do you take their last 10 games, or how do you base that?
Yeah, that's something that we're gonna, as we get closer, I think we'll involve the coaches more in that, because they run it day to day. They're pulling the strings on everything. So, Sully's really going to have to be involved in that. He's going to have more of kind of like the pulse of what's going on. The decision will be made like that as a group.
I want to ask you about Jason Robertson, and I'm not trying to pin you down on this because I know how fluid things are between now and January, but if he plays, I know Stars fans want us to ask you this. If you see his game from, let's say, the Christmas break last year to the end of the regular season, I'm imagining that's pretty hard to leave him off the roster.
Yeah, look, he had a phenomenal second half, and the good thing about it is, like, I called Jason when he wasn't going to be on the team. We had a conversation. I knew about his injury. He was very honest, very open about the whole thing, about where his game was. And I got to tell you, I was so impressed with the way he handled it, and just really appreciated I wanted to give him time, but he gave me a lot of time, and we had a nice conversation about it. And it says a lot about a guy's character when they handle it like that. So he's in a really good spot. Trust me, I've seen enough of that kid during the regular season and playoffs. I know what he can do.